live. Oh, you like even see a better show? Join me backstage. I want to know who I'm talking to. It's Augie T's guest list. What's up, Jay?
Oh, Augie
Let's do
T.
this.
What's up, baby?
Right on.
It's the guest list.
Look, I'm excited. I hope you guys excited too. Jason, longtime journalist for the newspaper, HBU lecturer.
Shark Life.
Yeah.
It's a fun time, and now we're doing the guest list, man. I'm excited.
I'm excited to not only learn more about some of the great guests, but have fun, talk story.
Well, I got this list right here.
Yeah, who you get?
Somebody you know.
Okay.
Lanai.
Nice.
Lanai is the first guest, and Kimo's our security. He's out front. Kimo! You see Lanai? Lanai. Oh,
hey.
What's up?
What's up, buddy?
How you? Nice seeing you
Long time no
again.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you? I hardly get to see you guys. It's like we have text relationships.
Man, but you guys actually just saw each other, right?
Yeah, I just announced that I was going to run for re-election, so I text a whole
I had
bunch
to
of
go
my
get
friends.
my free T-shirt.
So like,
Plate lunch at a t-shirt.
when I text people, I know some of them not gonna come.
Yeah.
It was like an early Saturday, and this guy would show up. I was
Of
like,
course.
oh man, thank you.
Of course.
Appreciate
I
that.
always
Very
support it.
first guest for
Always
the
support
guest
Augie.
list, bro. So before we get started,
Yeah.
we have to do the disclaimer.
Yeah,
You want me
please,
to
so I
do
don't
it?
get busted.
Lanai, can
I
Lanai
can
do
do
the
it. You want
honors
me to
the
do
first
that?
show?
All right,
Yeah.
where's my
Top one
camera?
right
Where's my
there.
camera? Where's my close-up?
Steve.
That one right there? All right. All statements made on this TV show are personal opinions and are not official endorsements by the CNC of Honolulu.
City and county.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Now I'm good.
All right, so now we can get down to the heavy-hitting questions, and that's what we're going to start off with, the heavy-hitting questions. Because I've listened to you guys on the radio from when I was, younger. I'm giving away my age, and you guys, the uncles over here. But
Uncles.
the big question everybody has to ask is, what happened? Why did Lanai and Augie stop working together?
Okay.
Ah, that's a good. We've known each other. We're trying to figure this out. 30 years?
Over maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We started
But, like,
working together
look,
at nights.
We talk maybe once every 3 years.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
go, dude, if we ever decided to honestly go back and put our whole mind, heart, soul.
Yeah.
And I think today's podcast, we're going to talk about why, you're
Yeah.
doing the things you do and why I'm doing the things I'm doing. We could kill it, honestly.
That was it. I think it was. People get the misconception that it was a bad thing when we left, but we did our time. If you watch radio and trends and everything that we did, we did it for so long, and then we started growing. I had kids. He has kids. You start growing, and you got more things to do, more opportunities. I knew all along he wanted to do comedy. We always talked about it. So it was his time to go, and it was my time to do other things too.
And mind you, when I'm not interested in anything or like I'm not excited about doing something, I just leave.
Yeah.
Ask everybody.
When it's not fun
When it's
anymore.
not fun anymore.
Yeah.
And for me, I always wanted to do comedy, right? And, I came in one morning and we had this long conversation. It wasn't happening, wasn't there.
The
already,
internet
right?
was getting bigger too, so we saw the writing on the wall.
So this wasn't any type of, reality TV drama.
No.
It was a really
We
mature
knew, so we
conversation.
both knew, like, if we're gonna make this happen and gonna do good, we gotta put 100% into
Yeah.
it. Lanai was traveling, he was doing his thing, making money, and I was doing comedy, and I never like come in every morning, and I said, I don't like being mad at anybody in the studio.
Yeah.
So, and I like be your friend when we get old, I like sit down, drink coffee, have conversations like this without having animosity. So it's better for me to leave.
But breaking up is hard to do, of course.
Yeah.
When you have something good for so long, it's not easy, but there's no drama.
Yeah. Right.
We're not drama guys.
Yeah.
Well, at least we got the important question out of the way first. This week's show, the very first Augie T's guest list, we're talking about being priced out of paradise. And we'll get more into that right after this.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the guest list. Our guest, Lanai. Okay, so, how do you make it happen?
Oh,
You're doing everything. I turn the station, I'm opening the newspaper, I see you there. How do you make it happen? What allows you to keep living in Hawaii and not having to move someplace else?
that's a good question because I've been getting a lot of offers to move, and I always thought, why do I have to move when I can do it? Keep this as my home base. But it is difficult, I think that those words. Do we have to thank E.M. Tongi for making it popular again? Priced out of paradise, but it is, we know because we're hustlers, right? I've always been a hustler since high school. I was selling cabbage in high school. That's how much I hustled. But I think the thing for me is I wanted to do things that I love and like to do. So obviously my travel club is taking off again. My food tours have taken off again. And it's all because of all the food stuff I've done for the Food Network and CNN. So after I started working with CNN and doing these food things, I started getting the street cred for the food side of it. And anyway, I'm not a chef. People always call me chef. I hate when people call me chef. I think people who graduated from culinary school deserve that right. But to answer your question, it's everything that I love to do. I love to eat and I love to travel.
That's what I tell everybody, and why I can do the things that I'm doing, because it's expensive to live here, but when you learn how to just kind of adapt, right? Like I've been doing radio in the morning for 30-something years. I love doing that. Go to city council, I love it. Even though it's stressful, I love it. But I still can do comedy.
But
right?
you know what the thing about with me and him is we figured out a way to promote the things we like to do on something we love to do.
This is what I'm trying to get at. It really seems like a lot of people, they live in Hawaii and they say, I don't want to move away for a better opportunity, so they get 2, 3, 4 jobs, but they're working jobs that they hate.
Yeah,
right?
You got to find jobs
wage.
that you like to do.
It's about what you love. As long as you're finding things you're passionate about. You've got your comedy, you've got radio, I've got publishing and teaching. We all work multiple jobs, but we do it happily because it's things that we love.
Yeah, and it's not even passion to me. It's like fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's not really.
It's a daily
passion
thing,
is
right?
like I love to paint. Or, you know what I mean? To me, that's my opinion. But
actually, that's a good point too.
You
Is
know?
maybe not necessarily something you're passionate about, but you have to find out what you're good at, and then go get an opportunity doing something that you're good at.
Well, I'm not really good at all of it.
Well,
I'm still
but
trying to figure it out.
You get rewarded for it handsomely for hanging out with people and going traveling, for showing people how to make things on TV. You may not be the chef, but you have some very important
Well, and I think people
TV
here
with you.
too, local people especially, you kind of have this blinders on, and you always think about things that you're going to get a reward with right away. I know for him and I, we've always looked at the reward's going to come later, especially if you're having fun. So it's not
Still
about
waiting
the
for
money.
the reward.
You just got it.
Yeah, you
just got awarded $100-something thousand.
I never take them. Oh
good
man,
job.
look at this guy.
We were talking earlier too. Social media, though, is a real big thing these days.
Yeah.
Do you look at the next generation or people that are coming up asking you, how can I make it? How can I do it? Do you think that it's gotten easier with tools like social media and the internet?
100% easier. I mean, but it's not, now there's more pieces of the pie to cut up, but 100% easier in the sense that when we started doing stuff, we were handing out flyers.
Yeah, putting posters
We were walking
up.
on the street. There was a lot of hurdles, more hurdles for us.
We've
than there
been
are
bribed.
today.
I want to bribe people to come on our radio show because they never
didn't
liked.
want
They
to.
thought if they did that, they was going to get banned on
from
being
the other
radio. So we used to
station,
put up, like our guest list used to put names of people
We
that
called
we
it the
want.
blacklist.
The blacklist. And then they started popping up. Then we take their names off the wall.
Yeah.
That's a good idea for this show.
Yeah, because you know,
Yeah, if you want to
Jason
get somebody
Momoa.
to come on. Yeah.
Dwayne, Uncle Dwayne.
the Rock.
Yeah, but social media is everyone's lucky today to have that. A lot of people still haven't taken advantage of it, which is funny to me. Like some of you big corporate companies, even the local companies, just doing it wrong or haven't taken advantage of it.
We said earlier, both of you guys are hustlers. I mean, I'm a hustler too. If everything got taken away tomorrow and it was zero, you had to start from scratch all over again, and you wanted to stay in Hawaii, what would you do?
What would I do? All the things that I do
Would
now?
you become an influencer? Like, would you go to social media and become an influencer? Would you go back to school and like become a lawyer or a doctor?
No, I've done everything already.
Yep.
I know I look young, but I've done everything that I wanted to do already. I could die tomorrow. Honestly, I could die tomorrow. I'd probably move home to Lanai and just chill with my mom, because I've done everything already. I mean, it's not about the money either.
Right.
I don't have enough of it.
Well,
but I could live with mom.
We'll talk, and this is the thing. We're talking. These are grown-up topics, right?
Yeah,
and that's
of
what the
course.
next question is here on Augie T's guest list: is moving on, and being priced out of paradise. But what are you doing here locally to give back? We're going to talk more about that coming up next on Augie T's guest list.
Welcome back to the guest list. Jason, Lanai, we're talking about being priced out of paradise, yeah?
And Lanai, we're going to move on to the next question, get right back into it. We were talking earlier, as you're getting older, as you mature, it becomes not so much about me, but you learn, if you give,
Yeah.
you get in return, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
My mom, you know, she taught us at a young age, you have to get involved in the community. She was always involved, giving back, whatever. Augie and I did a thing, 94-hour radiothon, where we stayed up for 94 hours and raised money for
That was
Easter seals.
insane.
That was like the first big money maker that I've ever done. And then I worked with Fitted and the guys at Information and Barefoot League and Booty Groove, and we created a show Aloha. Aloha for Japan. That was after Japan had the tsunami, and we raised $9 million for that, just selling T-shirts. And I really got the bug to see how, not the bug, but the formula and how do you raise money for different organizations.
No, I saw that shift. I was watching online because you really started like emphasizing aloha.
Yeah.
What does that mean, right?
Yeah.
And I remember you calling up, oh, you gotta jump on this campaign.
Yeah.
Aloha. I go, Brian, do show aloha.
Yeah, he does. But that's why I wanted him to jump on it.
That was a marked shift between just, hey, look at what Lanai's doing, look at what Lanai's doing, to now, let's do something.
Yeah, because you know, my mom always taught us that you can't do it by yourself. Everyone has to do it together. So you know, it's funny when you watch like social media stuff nowadays today. You can go do something good and somebody's gonna go find something wrong with it, and that's the hardest part, I think. People we got attacked. Oh, where's all the money going? We didn't make $1. You know what I mean? And then I tried to figure out how to bring people together that have some influence.
See, this is where you're growing, right?
Yeah.
I think maybe if we were a little younger, we'd get really defensive,
no more
right?
thick skin,
No more time, no more time for that. You know what I mean?
You know that.
It doesn't matter what you're gonna do,
Yeah.
good or bad. People always gonna find one reason to attack.
Yep.
At the end of the day, we like sleep well, right? So this is about being morally right.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, in radio, you did radio, nobody could attack you. Because if we didn't answer the phone, then you couldn't say nothing.
Right.
Right? Today's so much
I
different.
just get worried with all the, there's a lot more stress, it feels like, in day-to-day life, and people have all this pressure on them, and they're thinking, oh, I cannot handle, I cannot afford, I've got to move away.
That's a great reason. So what you do is so what you do is you'd start doing something good, and the feeling comes. The feeling is overwhelming.
That's what the secret, I would think some people, they start to feel like, I'm so under pressure, and they start becoming
And
mean.
I think that's the reason why a lot of people
disappears.
stay here, because there still is aloha. Even though sometimes we question it, you know what I mean? Like, you think about all the challenging times during the pandemic, how much people went out and made sacrifices to feed other people.
Yeah, and that's how Show Aloha started.
Sure.
You know, it's interesting that you say that too, because so many people complain about what our government is not doing.
Yep.
So I told people, what are you doing in your community? You don't need the government to go do something good for your community. So when the pandemic hit, Mike Gangloff calls me and goes, hey, let's go feed the kupuna because they can't leave their homes. And I said, who gonna feed them? Who gonna deliver the food, you know? So that's how that all came about. And then we started feeding 1,000 seniors a day for almost a year during the pandemic. But we raised almost $3 million, and we gave the money back to the restaurants. The restaurants could now stay open, and then Meals on Wheels, hi to Michelle and all of them, they took the food and started delivering because they weren't working either. So the formula is get everybody involved. You can't do it alone.
That's the thing, is our kuleana is not just where we live, it's not just our family, but it's the larger community.
Everybody in every community can make a difference.
Yeah.
And I'm learning and seeing that like on a daily and weekly basis, that if you stepped out of the box because you're passionate about maybe helping somebody, you can do them.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have that attitude of like, nothing gonna stop me from, being passionate about something.
Well, and that's why Hawaii is still a great place to live, because when we talk about having passion and being passionate about something, we're not talking about, storming the Capitol.
Well, no,
we're talking about raising money for the community.
And when you talk about
what I mean?
people have forgotten that instead of complaining, go and help. But what was interesting about Show Aloha was when the hotels closed, there was all this fish. All these fishermen,
I remember,
right?
and then you could get...
So I called the fish guys and said, what you
remember.
gonna do with the fish? So we started feeding all the community, right? And then it started leveling out, and then everyone started jumping on. And then they got donations for lettuce, and then we had donations for drinks, and then everyone started helping out.
Dude, but that's always been like that in Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
Sad that always takes something really bad
Yeah.
for us to see real aloha when it actually can be done weekly or even daily.
Daily.
It's
Yeah.
good to see that the aloha isn't getting priced out of paradise. We're almost done with Lanai here on Augie T's guest list. We got one more very, very important question to ask after the
yeah.
break.
Sounds like we're
Stick
cooking a
around.
turkey or something.
Yeah, are you?
We are.
How's it? Welcome back to Augie T's guest list. I'm Jason. That's Augie. Here's Lanai. We are wrapping things up, but before we do, we've got our special hard-hitting question here. It's
yeah.
a new thing on
You
this
know.
new show. It's our out-of-the-box question.
Yeah, until we
Okay.
get on box.
Open
you
that
know,
box.
We got,
Oh, that
There we
looks
go.
like a
trick.
box.
Right, so, because everybody, you kind of answer the question, right?
Oh, yeah?
Because I've known you for, you don't cook, bro.
Yeah,
You don't cook.
yeah, he
You know,
doesn't.
you're-
This is one thing he doesn't know about me.
Yeah,
Go ahead. What's the
yeah.
question?
Yeah, so what do you cook? I mean,
Oh, okay.
because the reality is that, dude, in the 30 years that we've worked, I made Portuguese bean soup.
Yeah.
I've never seen this guy
Like
put stuff
actually in
together.
the kitchen
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
something,
And in
not
fact,
microwave.
And one bad time in my life, I stayed at his house. Never watched this guy cook once. Like he's over there hosting, like he knows everything about cooking, the culinary. Bro, this guy.
You open the fridge.
So I call myself an undercover foodie.
Okay.
I am a cook. I cook a lot. My most popular dish is, believe it or not, is chicken papaya. The most requested is chicken papaya.
Whoa.
Yeah. I do one-pot dishes. My kids love my grandma's one-pot spaghetti, but I'm not a fancy. I'm not a chef. I don't do any of that stuff.
You do all the stuff that you grew up, the comfort
I grew up,
food.
I could do comfort food. That's all the local food. The reason why I don't cook that much anymore is because I get invited to eat everywhere for free. And it's not that I want to eat for
That's
free
why-
because I want to support
hey,
local restaurants.
That's why he's not priced out of paradise. Everywhere you go.
Hey, Lanai, come here, sit down.
Well, they know what
Try
it is.
this, try this.
You write for midweek and they think, oh, I'm going to go write a bad review. I tell you, I don't write any bad reviews about anybody. And for people who do that, I'm glad we brought this up because for people, there's a lot of people writing bad reviews or saying bad things about small restaurants. They don't realize that it affects you. You're taking the middle class out of the picture because you are closing. 2 bad reviews can close down a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing it happen on Yelp and all these different
And you
places.
know, the thing is, what
It's
you
sad.
like
Show along.
was not what
Yeah.
other people might not like, and what you don't like, they might like.
You don't
so-
have to dog them.
Yeah.
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 It's kind of like you're getting these guys who with all the money are getting us to fight with each other.
Yeah.
And we're taking out the middle class and they're making all the money. People got to stop, especially local restaurants. If you can't find something nice to say, there's a couple other things that I'm sure you like. You know what I mean?
Hold on, water is amazing.
Yeah.
We got dangerously close from going from a very light topic to something.
No, but
really, really
I wanted to
serious.
get that off my chest because it's been happening. A lot of restaurants have been calling me, hey, can you help me? I said, just call that person and say, why are you so angry? You
I
know?
did a weekly thing on the news. Everywhere we went, the following day would get packed. And we never said a bad thing, but I would get, bro, I went there, a food junk. What you
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah,
I go,
yeah.
dude, relax.
Yeah.
You know?
Wait for the next one.
And
you
when
know,
their
next one.
counter is, oh, we got to be real. We got to speak facts.
Authentic.
Yeah, you can find the good things in things, you know.
Well,
Always
and
find the
again,
good
that's a
things.
Hawaii thing. If
Yeah.
you're from Hawaii, you can live aloha. You don't have to go out
Yeah.
being negative and
Yeah.
adversarial
It's like
and
that
tell you
auntie.
why you suck.
You know, when
Yeah.
you went to a party and you showed the auntie a picture of a baby, even though the baby looked all
Yeah.
bossed
Yeah,
up,
you
the auntie
still
would be
gonna
like,
compliment
oh, that's blessings, beautiful, oh, lovely.
Right?
Yeah,
Same
and then
thing.
they pass the, and they, oh my God,
Yeah.
that's the worst baby ever.
But you know what's sad about social media and people who talk bad about other people, especially local people, is they probably just unhappy people,
Yeah.
you know, and that's the sad part about the whole thing. Just be nice, people. Gosh, I mean, you're
Okay, so the next time I'm a guest list at your house, we eat chicken papaya. Maybe I'll bring
I'll
the
cook you
Portuguese
dinner.
beans. Okay,
All right.
you heard that, right?
It's done.
He's
Here
been
we
on
go.
my cooking show twice. Not even that, because you know I can cook too.
I
so
gotta get on that.
you're coming on next.
So
Thanks for
Lanai,
having
he
me.
was here, the very
Thanks for
first
having me, bro.
episode of Augie T's guest list. Augie, who we got next week?
The Rock.
And if The Rock doesn't show up, who do you got?
Yeah.
Momoa. No, I'm thinking Alex, right? We have Alex.
Alex Sue.
Yeah.
Balloon
We're going to
Farms
talk
will be
about
joining us on the show.
sustainability and farming.
I love Balloon Farms.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So thanks for joining us, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the very first episode of Augie T's Guest List. We're going to figure this out. Hopefully there'll be like QR codes and websites and stuff to come follow us. I don't know. But we'll see you next time right here on Augie T's Guest List. Aloha.